What's good, y'all? It's your boy Rell, and here's another episode of the Reckless Rell podcast. And to my right is
your girl, Lady Kay.
Hey, okay. So if you guys don't know by now, don't forget we have a segment for you guys. Send us some questions and we will answer them. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube at the Reckless Rell podcast. And yeah, let's get into this today. I want to ask you this because it's something that's been on my mind, right?
Oh, Lord. Let's go.
So check me out. Say I'm about 300 pounds.
All right. You's a big one. Stop. I'm just playing, y'all. I don't have nothing against big people. I love everyone. I'm sorry. It's just Reckless Rell, so it's a little reckless. Go ahead.
So I'm about 300 pounds.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. 300 and fine. I
But
can take it.
Check me out, though. But when you first met me, I was like 220.
Okay.
At what point are you supposed to be like, I'm going to love him for who he is? Or be like, bro, you need to chill? Or would you even let me get to 300 pounds?
I can't sit here and say I wouldn't let you get to 300 pounds because I might. Because shit, we both might be going on the way to 300 pounds. Woo! That's what happens sometimes when you get in a relationship.
Right.
Y'all both kind of start eating. You always going out, drinking. All of that plays a factor. So you might not even realize that y'all even gaining this weight anyways. But I think it's all personal preference. Some people like them big.
No. See,
why?
See, you trying to give me a generalized answer.
You want to know about me?
Yes, I said you.
I thought we were supposed to be gearing this towards the people, but for me,
no. Time out. Let's go ahead and clear that up real quick. The point is the people should have their own opinions.
Okay.
We want to know your opinion. So the question is, if I was to get 300 pounds, what would you do?
The same thing we doing now. You're gonna work out.
Okay, then say that.
I was finna say something else slick, but I'm gonna let it go. I was gonna say, ain't you already 300 pounds, baby? Don't play with me. Nah, but stop laughing. It's like stop.
That's so fucked up.
He's not really 300 pounds, y'all. I'm just joking with him.
Shit,
I kid.
the one right there.
I kid.
Oh,
but
shit.
For me, I'm not gonna stop. We're about to escort him off the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't even focus now. Okay, but for me, I don't really like skinny people, so you gonna have a little leeway. I do like them a little thicker because I ain't skinny. I am probably never gonna be skinny. So a little meat is always good for me. But when it get a little bigger, I feel like might want to be. I mean, don't mean you can't be big and healthy, but I wouldn't want you too big. Okay. It's not a good look. 600-pound life is not for me.
Oh, we ain't say 6. God.
It's not like for me. Even though they always got a person. But it ain't for me.
So why do you think that is, though?
Convenience. I feel like if I was dating you and you was 600 pounds, I would bring you your food and stuff, but I can go out and do what I want to do.
So you think that's what it is?
I don't know. It's a place to stay.
I don't know, because when we be watching that 600
they
pounds,
be in love, huh?
Yeah, they be right there every day.
Because you ain't about to tell me, go get my food and I don't get it, and you going to hurt me and you can't even move. That's not going to work for me.
Yeah, that's.
But I don't know. That is a really good question, because sometimes I used to be sitting there and be like, dang, they really be having a spouse. And I can't even get one.
I guess it's because it's more easier to handle.
How? I got to pick you up.
No, I don't. Most of them just stay right up in that bed.
Oh, God.
I just got to wipe around your little flabs and all that. And we good around that bed.
Not that you called them the flaps, but
I ain't speaking for me, though. I ain't dealing with nobody.
So what you going to do for me? You going to stay with me?
If you get 300 pounds?
350. Going once, going twice. Sold to the man over there in the white shirt.
Nah, see, for me personally,
What's the biggest I could get, Mr.
I can't really say because I ain't no fucking weight tissue.
You just don't want them too big.
Yeah, I just don't want you to be looking bigger than about the same weight as me. You can't be about the same weight as me.
Damn, so if I get the same weight as you, it's done deal.
I wouldn't say it's done deal, but we're going to have a serious conversation. Because, shit, I ain't even trying to be as big as I am. So if you about the same weight as me, you tripping.
Yeah, okay.
You tripping.
I can see that.
I just feel like when I see people in a relationship with people that's way bigger than them,
right.
I just be wanting to know why. And then is that a good thing because they accepting them for who they is?
Right.
Or at some point they just not being a good spouse, because you shouldn't want your girl to be big and unhealthy. But like you said, if they healthy.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I think it's just personal preference. Like I said, I don't ever really want to date an extra skinny guy.
Right.
So maybe you just don't want to date an extra skinny girl. Now, like you said, at some point, when do you step in and say something? But I don't know when you would do that, because it still would go to your preference.
Right. That's true.
Or the doctor, I guess. And if y'all go to the doctor or something, and then you hear some unhealthy stuff, and if you care about that person, then you might want to try and help them fix it.
Right.
But
okay, so you scroll on Facebook, you be seeing some people they little posts and stuff.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, because they have made this post and I thought it was pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
So it was a girl, I guess she was texting a friend or something, and she was trying to get her opinion. It says, "Me and this guy are dating, and I mentioned to him that I am waiting for marriage to have sex. The guy I'm dating says he is cool with that, and when he mentions that we should go Dutch when we go on dates because he is saving his money for his wife. What the fuck? I told him that's not cool, that he will not spend money on me because I want to wait until marriage. He says that's not the case at all, but clarifies that just like sex, he should be a good steward with his money and reserve that for his wife. I think she asks, is he wrong?" So basically, let's just break it down to layman's terms. She's saying she not gonna have sex until marriage.
Correct.
He said, just like you, I also have my own things that I'm waiting to do for marriage. He said, instead of me paying for stuff for you, you should pay your own stuff. I pay my own stuff, and we just move like that.
So why are we even talking?
You gotta ask. So explain why you say that. Why you say that?
Well, one, she need to get a man that's okay with waiting, because obviously that's not the case.
You think that's what he thinking?
Yeah, get you a man that, if you don't want to have sex right now, get you a man that's cool with that.
He said he was cool with that though.
Yeah, but he ain't, because then it's kind of, I feel
like you gonna say
I feel like it's like a,
how you gonna
like a punishment type thing.
How you gonna?
Because if she was giving up ass, he'd be giving up cash.
You see how that sounds? That's fucked up.
If she was giving up ass, he'd be giving out cash. But because she don't want to give out ass, I gotta hold my cash too. First of all, no.
Okay.
Get to know the person. Y'all can. Why are we going on dates if you ain't never gonna pay?
He didn't say that. He just saying, since you have this, that you're waiting for marriage, I also have this. So since you sharing your information, I'm gonna share my information.
Go find you another man, honey.
So he tripping.
Go find you another man.
He tripping.
Just go get you another one, honey. It's okay.
I feel like a lot of times you don't realize what you're doing because you do something for so long, right?
Right.
So he probably, before her, he probably was willing to spend the money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But she gave him a new insight of something that he probably never thought before. He was like, you know what? Maybe this time, instead of worried about whining and dining a female, I should be waiting until my wife to wine and dine somebody. So how is he wrong for that? Now, if you agree that she feel like she don't deserve somebody who not gonna pay for dates, then I get that. But to say it's tick for tack, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Okay. We're just gonna agree to disagree.
Cause that's crazy.
So you don't think that if she was giving out ass, he'd be giving out cash?
He wouldn't. We don't know because we only could speak on it.
I feel like he would.
But see, that's so crazy how y'all be quick to like jump to that assumption for men. But just like she probably was giving up the sex to every other dude before him.
Could have. Maybe she won. We don't know that either.
Oh.
We don't know.
To each his own.
To each his own. Because at that point, we homies.
And I'm sure he perfectly fine with that.
We homies. I don't want to date my homies.
See, this is the crazier part about women. Most of the time, y'all think just because y'all stop something that we ain't finna go move on to the next person and be perfectly fine.
Who think that?
I'm just saying, that's why they be feeling. You
because I was about to say, I know if I ain't giving out no ass to Ulysses, go find somebody else that is.
Yeah.
Now, it will work for a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It might work for a little bit, but at some point, like you said, y'all gonna bounce. The same way if you ain't doing what I need you to do, I'll bounce too.
I mean, that's... If you ain't living like that, then you need to, because you're gonna be wasting a lot of time on some fuck shit around here, bitch.
Hella fuck shit.
You got some questions? Some topics?
Yeah. I guess since we still kind of going into relationships, I just want to know, when you first get in a relationship with somebody, should y'all discuss y'all exes? And I ain't saying every ex you've been with, because I don't want to hear about all that shit. But like maybe the last two or the very last relationship.
Well, I can't even say which exes because we don't know which ex impacted you the most.
Okay.
So I would say yes and no.
Mm.
Because you want to have some idea of what like your partner's been through.
Right.
But at the same time, you kind of don't be want to know everything because it's like it's gonna put you in a different light that they probably never seen you before.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I might already see you in some type of light.
Right.
But then when you try to break down some stuff that you went through with your ex, it's gonna make me think differently of you, even if it's unintentional.
Okay, and I was about to say, because it's from my past. Did you really?
But I'm just saying, even if it's unintentional, because you only know what you see.
Right.
You only know what how they act in that regard. But when you start hearing stories and stuff, you be like, oh, and then it creates doubts and things in your head. But at the end of the day, if you really with that person and you rocking with them, you want to listen to what they've been through, so that way you can hopefully avoid the same mistakes that last person made. So
right.
I think it's just like a thin line.
Okay.
It's a hit or miss.
I can see that. I agree with the last part. You should discuss exes, like you said, on the thin line, so you can kind of know how to treat your partner, why they act the way they act. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to really know who you was fucking and all of the extra stuff. But just to know why you think the way you think might be good. And then also, I know you said that it can make you see them in a different light, but that don't necessarily mean the light has to be bad. Maybe you'll see the growth that person had.
That's true too.
Because maybe I tell you a story or somebody tells you a story and you're like, dang, that's what you was doing, but now you're a different person. So that might help you also see their growth and growth in your relationship with you, if that makes sense. Whereas you brought that out that person. Mm-hmm. So I think it's not necessarily always a bad thing. I know a lot of people don't want to discuss their exes, but I think you should.
Yeah, I think in the long run, it'll definitely help the relationship because, to be honest, you don't really know where your relationship stands until you like actually go through some stuff. Right. It ain't gotta be some like serious shit, but your foundation gotta be tested some kind of way.
Definitely.
Got another one for me?
I don't know. Let me look.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Should you stay in a toxic relationship for kids? I'm going to ask you that because you have a kid. I can slightly answer. I can give you my quick, brief answer. I don't believe you should. I don't believe you should stay in any relationship unwanted. I do believe your kids pay attention to those things. And there's no point in arguing all day like they don't know what's going on, because kids be knowing. They might not say too much, but they know. It's not healthy, I don't feel like.
That question is a hit or a miss. Because if you with the right person, maybe y'all just need maybe like some counseling.
Okay.
Something to like, find a way to make it work for you, not just for y'all, but for the kid. But I also believe in don't do stuff for a kid. Right. So I believe if you have 2 healthy homes compared to 1 toxic home, that's way better, because I mean, you could speak on this. You have like step parents, you know what I'm saying? Right. And you have a great relationship not only with your dad, but also your stepdad. So I feel like in the right scheme of things, if you can't figure it out in the beginning, don't carry that on with your kids for the long run. Because if I be with you just because of my kids, I mean, they probably done seen about 17 years of toxicness. Right. And that shit gonna weigh on them. So now when they go into relationships, they thinking they just supposed to be with somebody, but they can still do what the fuck they want, because it's like, you ain't gonna leave me type shit. Right. So it's a preference type thing, because if you stay long enough, hopefully maybe they change. But you also take the chance of them never changing. They might stay the same. So
yeah, I think being apart for yourself and the kids is always good. You can have multiple healthy relationships without doing that, especially if you're going to be arguing in front of them. That just don't make no sense to me. And sometimes you can't help it. And you're going to sit there and say, hold your whole argument all the time. Sometimes it just happens. But it can be toxic. They can think that yelling all the time or fighting using physical action to solve problems is the way to do it. Right. Unintentionally. And you just think, oh, they're a child. They don't really care about what we doing or paying attention to it. But they don't say nothing. That's one thing they will not do. Right. But they pay close attention, and they may not realize it at the time, but later in life, some of those same things that you were watching, they come out.
Most definitely.
They definitely come out.
Because like they say, we definitely a product of our environment. So whatever we see is definitely going to impact us in the long run. Right. Most definitely.
You got something for me, honey?
Nah, it's kind of real slim today.
Because the only other thing I have is like the love languages. I know we always touch on love languages. I just didn't know if anybody knew what the 5 love languages actually were. You want to read them or you want me to read them?
I mean, you got them already. So go ahead.
So the first one is words of affirmation. So it's just like verbal compliments, expression of love and appreciation. The next one will be physical touch, which is sexual, non-sexual, and it's just showing some form of love. Quality time, so you focus and undivided attention spent together. Actions of service, so any act that eases the burden of responsibility. And receiving gifts, physical symbols, and reflect thoughtfulness and effort. So you guys should think about what your love languages are. Probably let yourself know, let your partner know, and sometimes that'll help your relationship as well.
That is true.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask, because you play video games all the time. How do you think that you should handle a relationship and playing video games? Because I be seeing posts all the time. I be seeing attitudes all the time that people that be gaming, they do not like y'all. Because y'all, some reason, don't be sharing y'all time from the computer or from your game console with your partner.
Well, I think that's a conversation you should have with your partner before y'all even get deep into a relationship. Because if you know you're a type of person who like to play the game, right, you would hope the person you with can understand that and give you the time to do that. That way, when you asking me to get away from the game, I could be like, ooh, I've been on the game a lot.
Because them get kind of lengthy there.
It all depends. But I think it's more just because, like, most women, they have an ideal man in their head. Right. And it's not that really realistic. Like, y'all just think we gon' spend all our time with y'all. And if we don't have no life out of y'all, like
you're not supposed to. I am your life. What do you mean?
No, you're a part of my life.
I am your life. You cannot eat, sleep, or breathe without me.
We are a part of each other's lives. That means there's things that I would have to sacrifice for you, and there's things you would have to sacrifice for me.
Okay.
And then we meet down the middle.
Do you have any tips for those young men? Because they be getting the business.
The only tip I can really give you, that sounds so nasty. I ain't giving y'all no tip. No, I ain't giving y'all no tip at all. The advice I can give you guys is that have the conversation early.
Okay.
So you can see where your partner head is. And if y'all not on the same page, then you might have to either decide if you going to lean more on her side, or you're going to decide to do what's best for you. If you know you really like to play video games, you just might need to go find you somebody who can understand that.
Right.
Instead of trying to push somebody into accepting your stuff, just find somebody who's willing to just be okay with it.
Because I will say, I don't play video games. A lot of people I know don't. But sometimes even if you just sit there, you ain't got to say nothing. You can just sit there. It's still spending time. They'll talk to you once they die. Something. Or they got to pause in the middle of the game. And then also, I feel like that's when you can incorporate your love language as well. It just tends to work sometimes, at least in this household, because you like physical touch. So after a while, you kind of like, damn, where's she at? Let me go talk to her. And then you go about your business. And I let you be great. You know, I think that's cool. I think if y'all get on the game and you just stay on there for hours and hours and hours and you don't check on your partner is when it can get a little tricky. And like you said, no, you are a part of their life. You are not their life. So they going to do what they want to do. And they come back. And then y'all spend y'all time. Or you can designate days too. It's some days where maybe you just let them play the game. I see you here and there, and then you go do what you want to do. And then other days, y'all spend time together. I feel like everything is always down to a balance. The science of balance. It will save your life.
I was about to say, that's what you start to learn more as you get in relationships. That a lot of times, you just got to find that happy medium.
Yeah.
That's it. Literally. And it's just a conversation, really. It ain't even no real, like, argument that need to happen, no none of that. Just, hey, you been on a game a lot, you think you could just spend some time with me. And hopefully, you got somebody who can understand that. And if you don't, hey, sometimes you just gotta reevaluate shit and keep it pushing. But I always think it's funny because it's like, we might like playing the game, but it's a lot of stuff that y'all like to do where we just be like, ain't no way in hell. Like reality TV.
You can come watch something with me. Just sit there. You might like it. Y'all be acting like y'all don't like it and then end up sitting there the whole 2-3 episodes.
That shit be so stupid it be entertaining.
Be sitting there 2-3 episodes.
That's why we'll sit there and watch it with you, but we'll never watch it without you.
Okay, you got a point. But I do want to tell y'all, I watch way too much Dateline. Please keep y'all partners as happy as y'all can, because they be knocking y'all off. Half of them stories is about relationships and they wanted another person. If you want somebody else, just leave. You ain't got to kill them people. It's never that serious. It's never that serious.
But see, that's another topic too, though. Like, for the ones who always have another person, why is that? You think that person is not satisfied, so they go find another person, or the other person is content and the person still loves the person, but it's just not enough?
I used to think that it was just the person wasn't good enough for that person at the time. Now I feel like it's a mixture. Mm-hmm. I feel like you might not be giving me. That's nasty. Bless you.
Niggas can't even sneeze.
That is COVID. We don't do that here. I believe it is just, you might not be giving me what I want, but like you said, yes, I do love you. I don't fully want to leave. And I don't know. They need to have the conversation, but I guess they ain't doing that. And maybe they are, and nothing's changing. But a lot of people, especially married people, it seems that it's easier for them to stay in a relationship than go through a divorce.
Right.
Or kill them for some reason. But so I think that's it. I think you're halfway happy because you know you love the person. I feel like you really love the person that you're with, but there's just some qualities that you're missing that you find in somebody else. And it's probably less work outside of your marriage or relationship to be with somebody else. Because, like, I can just come see you, have fun with you, and leave. I don't have to do anything else.
That's true.
So it could just be easy.
I don't know if we talked about it because we have a lot of conversations off mic. Did we ever talk about, like, having a friend of an opposite sex?
I think we did. Touched briefly on it last week. We did. Okay.
Well, never mind.
So y'all, I think we are done for today. Make sure that you send in those questions that we asked. DM, comment under the video.
Yes.
We are gonna catch y'all next week, and we hope y'all have a great night.
Deuces. Not the great night. They don't know if it's
day, night, all that. My bad. It's night where I'm at. That'll be all right.